Bought another guitar, this time a BC Rich. Cause I'm rich, bitch! No, I bought this motherfucker because I had one when I was a kid and I hated it. It was a piece of shit. But it had the shape I wanted, and I wanted it really bad when I was a kid because fucking Treya Zagthoth of Morbid Angel was playing the red one, and I had the red one. I had that bitch. It played horribly. It wasn't a good guitar. This one is significantly better than that, but it's still not perfect by a long shot. And when I think of this, like I said, I always think of Treya Zagthoth of Morbid Angel. Also, have you ever heard Order from Chaos? They were a black metal, death metal band, really more black than death, but piled under tons of noise, totally evil. And their guitarist, Chuck Keller, he had a white one like this, except he had two pickups. And I kind of wish this thing had two pickups. Only having one is like, that's cool. I like it. You can do pretty much everything with it. But arpeggios, when you're doing quick arpeggio patterns, they always sound better on a neck pickup. Not just any neck pickup. You get a super distortion, not the Super 2, not the regular Super Distortion. By the way, this has a Super Distortion in it. It's fucking great. At first, I was a little bit like, God damn, this bitch is bright. And then I went online and I typed it in and I was like, super bright, treble, da-da-da on the fucking Super Distortion. And everyone was like, that ain't got no treble. It's got bass. And I'm like, bitch, the only bass on this is a dog behind me going woof, 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 woof. Because this motherfucker barks like a bitch behind you in the bass. But it's got a ton of treble. It cuts through and you can be doing those cool chug riffs that are like, it's got this cutting fucking thing. It's fucking great. I really, really like it. All right, going back to the pickup on this for a minute. Like I said, it's a Samargio. It's a Samargio duper distortion? No, it's a DiMarzio super distortion. And this pickup is a rather legendary pickup. Judas Priest used it all throughout the 80s. So did Iron Maiden. There's rumor that Slayer used it before they switched to the EMG 81. I don't know if that's true. But in any case, it was used by fuckloads of heavy metal bands in the old days. And I understand why. When you're playing it, you can tell that it works for that. It also works very good for old style thrash metal. I really, really do like the pickup. I'm a DiMarzio fan regardless. I had an X2N in multiple guitars for a good 20 years. It's one of my favorite pickups. And the Super 2, I used to always have it in the neck of every pickup. And the Super 2 it's a super distortion, but it's modified, and I don't really know what the modifications are. If you ever get a chance to play one in the neck, do it. They're fucking cool. I wish this had a neck pickup. That would be cool, or even just a single coil right there would be cool. And speaking of single coils, this has a tap, and it actually sounds cool. When I was recording with it the other day, when I did that little thing, it would cut through more when I would use that, but I couldn't decide, do I want to use that one or I want to use the other one? I couldn't decide. I went back and forth, but it's cool. It's a lot of times when you use coil taps, they don't really have much of an effect, but this one actually has an effect. So now let's talk about the ergonomics of this guitar. There is no ergonomics. Let's just be honest. You buy a guitar like this because of the badass shape, not because it's a Strandberg. With that said, yeah, if you put the strap on, it goes bloop automatically. Could they fix that? Maybe chop the headstock off. Maybe add more weight to this piece right here. I don't know. I'm not a builder. I'm just curious. The placement of the straps, as you can see, is right here and up on the top. Really doesn't help. But I'll say this, the guitar is quite light. So if you are having issues with the neck dive, and you will, if you buy this, you're going to have neck dive. So if you're playing up the whole time, you're going to be dealing with that. The way I've been playing it, though, is you'll see, or you probably did see at the beginning when I'm playing it, I have the horn right here propped on my chair. So I'm playing it just fine, not really having an issue with it. You got to watch this though, because you don't want to knock some shit down. This motherfucker will kill a motherfucker. Oh, by the way, when they sent this, it required an adult signature. And I thought, why the fuck does it get an adult signature? Is it because it's a weapon? So everyone online was asking, what are the QC issues? Is it good? Does it have any quality issues? And the first thing, straight out of the box, I thought, and I saw the video of the other guy who posted his video, and I don't remember his name, but anyway, you were showing your tips, and I did an unboxing, but I didn't post it. I just did it because in case it showed up broken, I wanted to have documentation that it came out of the box broke, but it wasn't. But I did think that it was missing paint on the tips, and it wasn't. It was sawdust. The sawdust was pushed so hard onto the paint that it made it appear as though it was missing paint in that section right there, but it it actually wasn't, on 2 of them actually, this one and this one. But anyway, I took a cloth and I wiped on it a little bit and the sawdust came right off. But at first I thought it was missing some paint and I was a little bit disappointed, just like that other guy who was saying that. So dude, if you see this video and you were looking at yours, grab a cloth and try wiping on it, because that will come off. This motherfucker is filled with sawdust, by the way. Every time I plug into it, the jack is in an unusual spot too. Every time I plug in, sawdust falls out. Every time I pull out, sawdust falls out. It's kind of funny. It's not causing any real issues. Let's talk setup. Mine did not come with a good setup. I know the other guy said, man, his was perfect from the factory. Well, congratulations, mine wasn't. None of my locking nuts were locked at all. Not that that matters. I'm not saying they should be locked when they ship. But I've got a significant amount of fret buzz on the number 3 and number 4 string, primarily in this higher area is where it does it. And it's a very significant amount. And the issue with fret buzz is usually, you're like, well, can you go any lower in action? Can you go any higher? The action is already a little bit high. It's not as low as I would like it. So to go higher, I'm sacrificing already because it's already plenty high. But with that said, I have not checked the neck yet, and the neck might just need a little bit of relief, maybe. And I'm going to check that today and see if it needs some relief, and maybe that'll fix it. And maybe the bridge will be able to come down a little bit then. Oh, something else too. The bridge is a little too far back. So I don't think there was a setup done on it. Or maybe there was a setup done in Indonesia and it came all the way over here and it's no longer set anymore. Also, in regard to the quality control, and maybe I'll take some photos so you can see it, there's a mark on the side of my fingerboard on the side here. It's just an annoying, ugly mark. I don't know if it's a tool mark or what. And then you can see the tang on a few of the frets, but not most of them. Most of them are clean, but here and there, like this one looks really nasty right there, and this one's also real visible. Again, these are visible imperfections, and people would say, oh, for this price point, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a shit what the price point is. I think stuff should be clean and good regardless. I have another guitar in this house that costs less than this that honestly outplays it. It outplays it like a motherfucker. I'm not going to talk about that guitar today, though, but I'm going to do a review of it because that guitar, the other guitar I speak of that's in the house, there is a magic on that guitar. Perhaps it was taken to an altar somewhere and someone did some voodoo, but that guitar has 0 fret buzz on the whole thing, perfect fret job, perfect everything, and when it arrived in my house, I ended up selling 3 of my other extremely expensive guitars immediately because it outperformed all of them. So this poor thing here, I can't expect it to dethrone that other one. That other one's just killing everybody. But what does this have going for it? It looks great. It sounds good. It plays good. It does play good. But, can you hear that? Do you hear all that fret buzz? And the action's already fairly high. I mean, most people, I would call this average action. And a lot of people have action lower than this. And I would like it lower than this, but there's no way I'm going to be able to get it lower than this. Not with all that buzz. Hear that? Now, with the bridge being a little back, it's back a little too far. If I bring it forward some, that might reduce some of it. So I'm gonna do some adjustments. And I didn't do adjustments yet on purpose. I've had this here since Monday. Today is Sunday. So I've had it for, a whole week. And I'm trying to let it acclimate to the temperature and the humidity and the stupidity of Alabama weather. Because I'm down in the swamp, the bottom of it. And for fuck's sake, it was freezing one day, it was burning up hot the next day, freezing again, then hot, 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 then humidity, then no humidity. And for fuck's sake, man, that kills guitars. By the way, you need a dehumidifier, you need a humidifier, you need all these things. Try to keep your house at 55% or your shit will blow up. I've had shit blow up. You don't want shit blowing up. So do that. What was I talking about? When I first picked the guitar up and I started playing it, and I was just sitting there playing it, my hands were solid black after I was done, meaning the strings were garbage strings. And so I cleaned all the strings, and there was stuff on the neck too, and I didn't know if that was perhaps from the neck or from the strings, but I did have some Diodario XL strings several years back that would make your fingers solid black, and I had bought another pack, and they also made my fingers black, so I didn't buy them anymore. I quit buying those. And I started buying the Ernie balls, and the Diodarios that I currently use are the NX YL, what, I don't know, there's 4 letters on there, I can't remember. But those are always clean and good, and those are really nice strings. I'm disappointed that they sent me strings that are solid black. I mean, how much money are you really saving? You could have tacked on $5 extra onto this guitar and I still would have bought it if you just put a regular pack of strings on the damn thing. I mean, seriously. Also, I really hated that this showed up in a cardboard box with a shape like this. I expected it to be broke. That's why I did film me unboxing it, just to see if it got damaged. It didn't get damaged. I got lucky. The other thing, they don't have any of the soft shell cases for this in stock, and they finally got the fancy one. So I ordered it, but I didn't want to. That's $300 damn dollars. It's an extremely expensive case to get for such a cheap instrument. I'd rather just have the soft one. And it hasn't shipped yet, which makes me think it's probably on back order. So maybe I should try to cancel that because that was kind of stupid to order that. Okay, so if I were to rate this guitar review-wise, I think I'd give it a 7.5. And I say that because it has fret buzz issues. It isn't set up good. I think, though, it's going to be okay once I do some adjusting, but I can't say that for sure. And the fret buzz being up in this area doesn't annoy me as much as it does when it's down in this area, because I like to play chug stuff and slamming on the... That's where it annoys me the most when I get fret buzz. And usually most guitars I get, their fret buzz is usually in that area, not in this area, which is unusual. With it being right there, it does make me think that perhaps there's a little bit of neck. The neck is probably back a little bit. I need to bring it forward some, give it a little bit of relief. However, when you give guitar relief, your action goes up. So hopefully when that goes up, I move this back to where it really needs to be, because it's a little off. It needs to be a little bit forward. And if I bring it down, maybe it won't buzz. Maybe it will. I don't know. So those are my final views of this thing. I'm not getting rid of it, though, because I've wanted this shape ever since I had that one when I was a kid. I wanted another one again. And I wanted a red one, but I'm happy to get an order from Chaos one. The only other people I think that play an Ironbird is Joe Bench from Bolt Thrower. She plays an Ironbird. By the way, if you're not familiar with Bolt Thrower or Order from Chaos and you like death metal, you should know who these bands are because they're fucking great. Obviously, Trey's God. I expect to keep this guitar. I've bought a lot of guitars in my life, and I go through them because something will, I have a buzzing issue, a fret problem or something like that, so I just get rid of them and I'll get a different one. Various reasons for that. I don't want to get rid of this one. But this fret buzz you hear right there, if I can't work that out, next year I could see myself getting rid of it just for that reason. And if for anyone out there that says like the price point determines whether you get problems like that, I strongly disagree. Craftsmanship is the issue with all this type of stuff. I have a guitar right here. This is from 1987 or 88. It's the first electric I ever had. It's a total piece of junk. It cost about 170 bucks new. It's a Hondo. There is nothing good about this guitar in any kind of way. It has 0 fret buzz on it. So explain to me how a generic, this is like in the modern era, if you were to go buy a Walmart guitar or something, playing well. That's how this is. It doesn't play well, but it has 0 fret buzz and decent action. So it really fucking annoys the shit out of me if I have a guitar that has fret buzz. But with it being where it's at, it might not annoy me in the end. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. But as it stands at the moment, I don't foresee myself getting rid of it because I've wanted this for so damn long. And I'm really enjoying the super distortion that's in it.